Real estate investing can make you a lot of money, and I'm talking about millions of dollars if done right. But the very common question I've received is that, Wale, should I start investing in single family or should I go multi-family route? Or is there any way I can actually combine both together? In this video, I'll be walking you through 10 pros and cons in the single family and multi-family space, and eventually allow you to make a decision what kind of property you want to buy next, or if you're just getting started, where should you start from. Now, you want to watch till the end, because on my number 8, number 9, and number 10, I drop the most important thing I've seen that people always get wrong when they are investing in real estate. So you don't want to miss that. Hi guys, if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Wale Lawal. I am a real estate agent. I'm also a real estate investor. I'm based in Houston, Texas. I own a couple of single family and multi-family, so I do have a first-hand experience talking about this topic. So this is not something I read somewhere. This is something I have done myself. So the number one comparison is the property type. So single family simply means a single unit, single family living in there like this. And a multi-family means a multi-unit. 2 to 4 units is considered multi-family, but in the commercial space, 5 units or more is what they actually consider a multi-family. But for the sake of this video, just understand that a multi-family simply means multi, anything more than one. So 2 and above or to infinity is multi-family. Now, you can also put multi-family into a small multi, medium-sized multi, and a large multi-family. In my experience, I define a small multi-family from 2 to 10 units. Those are considered small multi-family, and mid-sized multi-family, 11 units up to 30 units. Those are considered medium-sized multi-family, and large multi-family means anything 30 units and above is large multi-family. So now that we are clear about the property type, now the number 2 comparison you should be aware of, which is probably very important factor here, is the initial investment. Single family are usually very easier to acquire, and the initial investment are typically 0% down you can buy a property, and up to 5% down you can buy a property. But for multi-family, if you are buying anything above 2 units and you are not going to be living in there, the lender typically require you to put down 20% or more. That's for multi-family. Now, there is a recent Fannie Mae guideline that recently passed that allow you to actually put 5% down to buy a 2 to 4 unit, but this is still considered owner occupy, and 2 to 4 units is still considered residential, and this is why you can still put as little as 5%, or even if you're using FHA, you can use 3.5% down payment. So just understand that in terms of the finance required, you can put little or no money down to buy a single family, but when you're buying multi-family, you do have to put some money down, and that can range from 3.5% to 25 or 30% down payment. The number 3 is the cash flow. Now, single family tends to cash flow better than multi-family because most of the time probably buying them in a nicer neighborhood and nice school district, so they tend to attract a higher quality tenant, so which means that you can charge a little bit more for the rent. Multi-family, on the other side, you might not charge, you might not make so much cash flow, but there's many units that are making up for those less cash flow that you are not getting from single family. The number 4 is the appreciation. Now, single family are based on sales comparable to your neighbor, to the streets, properties on your street. But for multi-family, they are value based on the net operating income, based on the income they are producing, and based on the improvement you've made to the property. So this is how multi-family is valued. So multi-family tend to appreciate faster than single family because, again, it's more like a business. They're looking at how much income is coming in and how much expenses are you incurring on that property, and eventually they calculated what we call net operating income, NOI. So just understand that multi-family tends to appreciate faster than single family. The number 5 on my list is the management complexity. So for single family, they are very easier to manage. Usually it's just one house. You can actually even self-manage yourself, or you can hire a property manager, but overall they are very easy to manage because they're just dealing with one tenant. In terms of multi-family, they can be a little bit challenging to manage, especially if you are dealing with a large multi-family. So this this means that you probably would need to hire a property manager and make sure they are very good at what they do, and the property manager will be the one, relating with the tenants and making sure they are paying your rent and making sure they are taking care of the repairs, among other things that property manager would do for an investor like yourself. Just understand that single family are a little bit more easier to manage because it's just one property, probably in a nice neighborhood, but multifamily are a little bit of a complex to manage, except you are buying a 2 to 4 unit like a duplex, triplex, fourplex, where you can live on one side and you rent out the other 3 units. Then you can still self-manage yourself because those are still considered residential. The number 6 on my list is the risk diversification. So when people are buying multifamily, they are mostly doing it because they want to diversify the risk of potential vacancy. So if you have a 4 unit, for example, if 1 unit is vacant, the income from the other 3 units might be able to still help you cover 90 to 100% of your monthly mortgage payments. But if you have a single family home, 1 unit is vacant, then you have no tenant. So you have to pay that mortgage out of your pocket for that month until you're able to find another tenant into the unit. So most landlords try to diversify their risk by buying multi-units, so that way they can still be able to collect rents from other units if 1 or 2 become vacant. Number 7 is vacancy. Now, tying to my number 6, if 1 unit is vacant in multifamily, like I said, it can easily be offset by the other unit that are not vacant. But for single family, if you have 1 unit that is vacant, then everything is vacant, then you simply have to make that payment out of your own pocket, unfortunately. So this is one of the reasons why some people just want to go multifamily, because they want to just reduce that vacancy or reduce the possibility or the likelihood of them having to pay their mortgage out of their pocket. Yeah, I told you at the beginning that my number 8, number 9, and number 10 are the biggest ones. So this is my number 8, financing options. You see, you have a lot of financing options for single family homes. When I'm talking about multifamily, I'm talking about the 5 units and above. Your financing are very, very stringent because this is a business. They are looking at the income the property is producing. They are looking at the historical performance of the property. They are looking at the team, who is going to be managing it, who is the buyer, what have they done in the past, have they owned this kind of property in the past. So those are the things they are looking for, and it's a business for the bank as well. So they really want to make sure they are partnering with the right people that know what they are doing, that will be able to operate the property correctly and being able to make their monthly mortgage payments, because they don't want to lend money to somebody that will fail. They want you to succeed. So financing in the multifamily is very, very stringent. It requires a lot from you, experience. It also requires money, and it also requires some business experience as well. So it's something you have to be aware of. Contrary to that, in the single family space, it's very simple. If you're going to be living there, or you can do 100% financing, that is 0% out of your pocket, or you can actually put as little as 3.5% down. Now, if you're doing a small multifamily, which is 2 to 4 units, you can put as little as 3.5% down to go the FHA financing route, or you still go conventional route with 5% down payment. This is something that I've seen a lot of people taking advantage of, because now they are buying a 4 doors with just 5% down. So that is something you should take into consideration as you're looking to make decision for your next real estate acquisition. Now, the number 9 on my list is the exit strategy, or you can call it liquidity. How easy it is to sell this property. Now, for single family, it's very easy because it's one house. Most people that will probably buy from you are people that will live there, or people that are going to be using it for rental property. So it's very easy to sell. It's very easy to liquidate a single family home. For multifamily, it's a business, like I said. And again, when I say multifamily, I mean those 5 units and above. It's an experienced investor that will be buying this from you. They are doing their own due diligence. They are doing their calculations. They know what they are doing most of the time, and they will be coming in very ready to go into negotiation with you. And most of the time, those negotiations, you may not accept their offer. So they tend to be very difficult to sell. But if it's in a very good market, you can also sell them as quickly as possible. But just know that multifamily can be a little bit more difficult to liquidate as compared to single family homes. Yeah, now this takes me to my number 10. Number 10 on my list is the market cycle. So how vulnerable is single family during the market shifts, and how it is in the multifamily space. So for single family, they tend to be more vulnerable to market cycle because because people are buying most of the time with emotions. They want to live there. They are concerned about the interest rate and all those other things. So they tend to be more vulnerable, very unstable during the market shifts. If interest rate go up, they suffer. If the interest rate go down, they do well. For the multifamily space, since this is more like a business, it's all about the net operating income. How much is that property producing? If they can see how much it's producing and it still make money, most of the time the investors doesn't care what kind of market cycle we are in. So this is something you should be aware of, that if I'm buying a multifamily, you should plan to hold it for as long as possible, because what if you close on that property this year and 2 years that you plan to sell, the market is not doing well in terms of real estate, maybe the interest rate is high, so those are the kind of things to be aware of. So and that wraps up my discussion on this. This is something that I've been asked many times, and I hope this video actually helped you to answer that question. So now, that being said, now you have all the 10 comparison. Where do you think you're going to be starting from? The biggest one that stops a lot of people is the financing. How much down payment can you afford? If you're buying a $10 million multifamily property, you need about 30% down. Do you have the $3 million? And if you're buying a small multifamily 2 to 4 units, let's say it's $800,000, do you have 5% of that? So that's the biggest thing that you have to answer. That decision is yours, it's not me, but at least I've been able to give you all the 10 aspects to consider before you make that decision. And most of the time, I see people starting from the small multifamily 2 to 4 unit. They live in one side, they rent out the other 3. That allow them to learn about real estate investing, about landlording, and also allow them to save money on their living expenses. And of course, they gather so much experience that they can now start playing in the large multifamily or medium-sized multifamily, as the case may be. So I hope you find value here. If this is the first time we are meeting again, my name is Wale Lawal. I own a couple of single family, multifamily here in the Houston area, and I would like to connect with you. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video with anybody you think will benefit from this, and above all, comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. What is your experience in real estate? Is there any point you think I'm missing? Is there anything you would like to see from me in the future? Drop all the comment below. I will be in the comment section replying to you. And that being said, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.